Looks like my mic was muted. Thanks, guys. Hey, hello. Everybody, welcome to the stream. Grateful to have you tonight. Let me turn down the music here. I apologize that my mic was muted there. Guys, welcome to the show. UNLV football wins 42-10 in Fort Collins. At the same time, UNLV basketball dominates UT Chattanooga 101-69 in just an outstanding performance. So could not be any happier. I am thrilled with where both programs are tonight, and just excited to talk some Runnin' Rebel basketball and some UNLV hoops with you. So let's get into it. Obviously, to kind of set the stage a little bit, let's the Chris brings it up. The Hawaii San Diego State game is an important game for the Mountain West championship options. UNLV has a path to the Mountain West championship game. I can go over a few of those options tonight on the stream. But the best path is probably Hawaii winning. It's San Diego State winning. And then we probably need Boise State to take 2 losses. There's a lot of different ways it could play out, especially if San Diego State plays in Albuquerque against New Mexico. So if we could get San Diego State to beat New Mexico, that would also be a very good option. But, just an outstanding, a lot of great stuff going on. Tavon says, Rebels. Yes, Rebels. Let's see. Jordan, we got Jordan on tonight. Rebels, good to talk to you, Jordan. Good to see you. There's Chris. The only bad thing is it looks like Jet got hurt. Not sure how bad. Okay, does anybody can anybody tell me what happened to Jet? Because I was not watching the game at the time that Jet apparently went out with an injury. Do we think it's a hamstring injury? And Steven, 2 for 2, baby. That's what we're talking about. That's how you play Runnin' Rebel football and Runnin' Rebel basketball and UNLV football. Let me check on the Hawaii game because that is a very important game for UNLV. That Hawaii team is going to be tough. UNLV obviously plays them. Hawaii has 2 losses, a loss at San Jose State, so UNLV can kind of eliminate Hawaii. Hawaii currently is up on, let me check the score here. Where's it at? Golly, man, why don't this game tell me where the heck is it? Why can't I just see Hawaii's game? The game casts. There we go. NCAA football, Hawaii. Hawaii is currently at 6-24, and so it's halftime still. Thanks, guys. 24-6. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so let's talk. Thank you, Jordan. Hawaii at home. Yeah, this is kind of. I was looking at it and I was watching kind of these teams play, and Hawaii and Utah State are really tough teams to beat at home. They are games that you can win if they're on the road, but they seem to be brutal teams when you're playing them at home. Thankfully for UNLV, you saw Utah State absolutely dog walk Reno. Reno tonight. And so that was fun. We always love seeing Reno lose. Reno should have really lost to that Pacific team Reno basketball should have lost tonight. We could have had a truly unbelievable night tonight as Reno Hoops almost lost to a terrible Pacific team. But ultimately, they were kind of bailed out as Pacific missed a bunny at the rim. So Reno football gets crushed by Utah State. UNLV is still going to play Utah State and Hawaii this year. Utah State has a home game against Boise State. So lots of different kind of outcomes that could come about. Lots of different paths, but let's talk about this game because it started out UNLV gave the ball first to Colorado State. There was some penalty issues. UNLV's defense seemed like it was going to get absolutely destroyed by, let's be honest, a really bad Colorado State team, a team without a head coach, a team that had been really struggling. Ultimately, UNLV is able to kind of shake off some of that rust, some of that fear a little bit. I think I felt that the team was a little tentative to start the game and just wasn't quite ready to go, but ultimately did come out on top. Let's dive into the stats a little bit. Let's do team stats first. UNLV 6 of 12 on third down, 1 of 13 for Colorado State. UNLV was 2 for 2 on fourth down. They had 571 yards of total offense, 251 passing, a unbelievable 320 yards rushing in just an awesome effort. Um, and ultimately we're able to kind of shut down um, and we're ultimately able kind of to shut down, you know, a, a a Colorado State team. You know, this Colorado State team, if you remember a few weeks ago, dominated Fresno State on that home in Canvas Stadium in Fort Collins. And UNLV offense, you know, this UNLV team, even though they weren't perfect, winning this game is still really impressive in the way that they did, especially because it's on the road. And Colorado State's not great, let's be honest, but to win this game and to hold Colorado State to 1 of 13 on third down, 292 yards, 189 passing, UNLV only gave up 103 rushing yards, which is easily their best mark that I can think of on the season. Colorado State only averaged 3 yards a carry. On the penalty side, UNLV was penalized quite a bit. There was only one interception by both teams. This game could have been even a bigger margin had Anthony Calandria not thrown that interception in the end zone. But just an outstanding win, guys. I mean, I cannot be any happier. Let's go over the individual player stats. So Anthony Calandria, a solid game. Nothing crazy, but 251 yards, 11 and a half yards per attempt. 2 touchdowns, just the 1 interception, 15 of 24 from the field. From the field, 15 to 24 on the passing side. UNLV's rushing attack was solid. Jet Thomas had 131 yards as he had 2 unbelievably explosive plays, a 59-yard long and then another like 48-yard long rush. And I was laughing and tweeting out bye every time he kind of had one of those awesome explosive running plays. I thought Jalen Glover, and now obviously Jet Thomas's health is going to be key heading forward. There are no more bye weeks in this season for this UNLV football team, so it is full sprint ahead. I can't say I love how UNLV's schedule worked out this season, but that's just kind of the way that it is. Jet Thomas, awesome game. Hopefully he's healthy. Impressed with Jalen Glover, who has quietly turned into a much better running back than we originally thought to start the season. Jalen Glover ended up rushing for 99 yards. The team was trying to get him that 100th yard, but ultimately he came up just 1 yard short. Kevon Lee, really solid game. He had 12 carries. I thought maybe one more carry for Glover could have been, but you know, Kevon Lee was really trying to that power back that was getting kind of those short yarded situations. Did break out for a 17-yard run. Anthony Calandria, solid game with his legs. Nothing crazy, only 4 carries, but he did run for 33 yards. Really happy with him. We saw some fun guys come in. Roderick Ray, I've never heard of Roderick. I mean, I know he's a player on the team, but good to see him get a touch. And Gail Ochoa, who was a Barry Odom recruit, a Brennan Marion recruit, actually, out of UTEP. Out of El Paso. He's the third string quarterback on this team. Good to see him finally get some run. I think that was his first college play ever. So congratulations to him. In terms of the receiving game, Jaden Bradley, awesome game. 3 receptions. 64 yards, 21 yards per reception average, with a 37-yard long. That was awesome. Really fun stuff for Jaden, including an awesome leap over a Colorado State defender. Troy Omier had that 1 catch for 68 yards. Just spectacular stuff. Really good to see him getting involved. Kevon was really deadly in the backfield in terms of the passing attack. He had a 25-yard catch with some definite running after the catch. So that was really great for Kevon. Couple of names we haven't heard a ton of. Tayshawn Lyons, good to see him. JoJo Earl, kind of disappointing this season, but you know, I wish we gotten more out of JoJo this year. But good to see him get a couple of passes, and that really kind of sums it up for the UNLV receiving attack. Would like to see the tight ends a little more involved, to be honest, but we'll take what we can get. In terms of the UNLV defense, it's Marcel McDuffie, man. He had 1.5 yard tackles for loss, 3 solo tackles. I thought he had an outstanding game. He was definitely the president, kind of the commander of the defense, doing a good job. In terms of other tackles for loss, we had Tumisi Adele, and then obviously Trey Fulton. I thought he had a better game. Jalen Lee. There was just some fun guys. It was nice to see Justin Flo get back out on the field. LaTerrence Welch, I believe, was he the one that got the turnover? That he's the one that got the interception? I think he was. Kadarius Keys, I thought he had a solid game, but you know, ultimately solid. Yes, it was LaTerrence Welch who got the interception. So good to see. I thought the defense played Let me see. Let me go through your guys' comments here. So let's stop sharing here and let's go through some comments here. All right. So we have Hawaii at home, Hawaii on the road, totally different teams. Man, it's fun to watch. It's fun to win. Yes. Hi, Mom. Good to see you. Very fun to win. What an outstanding night. My mom and I, as we were driving home, we kind of knew the Rebels were going to win in football. And that was an outstanding run and Rebel game that we'll talk about very shortly. We'll kind of end the show out with the run and Rebels. But yes, very fun to win. My only question is the team we've seen tonight, the team we should expect, or is Tuesday the team we should expect? That's running Rebels. I'll get to that in just a sec. Noah, good to see you, Noah. Appreciate you, man. The play calls seem to open up throughout. Yeah, Corey Dennis, I thought, had one of his better games. They came out a little slow. This team just doesn't seem. I feel like the offense, even though they have all the talents in the world, sometimes lacks the confidence in terms of the play calling and the coaching staff. And you can kind of see that that lack of confidence bleed down into the players. They definitely got more comfortable as they realized that this Colorado State team didn't really have a ton of fight and was going to fall down and quit the second that you pushed them over, which they absolutely did. Third down defense was big tonight. Yes. Dennis seems to be more comfortable. Yeah, this was a good game for Dennis. Scarlet Standard, good to see you, brother. This is Mike. Mike picked Colorado State to win this game. He has discovered, Mike, the reverse jinx, which is my favorite thing in the world. Picking your favorite team to lose. I always do that. A couple other ones. UNR should have lost to Sac State earlier in the season. Yeah, true. Good to talk to you, Vinny. Hawaii kickoff return. Is that recent? No, I don't think so. Unreal. Master Rebel says the defensive play calling was such a difference after the first drive, brought pressure. Yeah, I think that they kind of played the more go for broke man-to-man style as opposed to that soft zone that they just can't really communicate in. It was, we've talked about so many times, Master Rebel. It was good to see the UNLV defense be a bit more aggressive. And it really paid off, I think. Moving down here, there was no hold on that Calandria run. Yeah, I didn't see the hold, and Calandria really should have gotten like that. Was it like a 65-yard run? That would have been incredible. I thought that it was good. I thought the flag was a little weak, and I felt bad for Calandria having to expend that much energy to get that touchdown and then ultimately have it called back. You know your duty the rest of the way. Yeah, everybody pick against UNLV every time. It's pouring in Hawaii. Apparently, it's raining in Hawaii right now. Great win for the Rebels, but Gunther is still on terrorist watch. Yes, Paul Gunther. If this was a good one, you're one step further away from Guantanamo Bay, Paul Gunther. Thank you, Rat Pack. Good to see you, ma'am. Steven, Sam Houston with a go-ahead block punt TD against Oregon State. Is Sam Houston beating Oregon State? Is that actually happening? Because that's amazing if it is. Because I think I know the Oregon State fans have been through absolute hell and back, but I can't help but laugh every time Pac-12 schools kind of lose. Just like they laugh at us every time the Mountain West schools lose. Sam Houston is up on Oregon State 21-17 in the fourth quarter. Might have to turn that one on. Hawaii TD, wow, best defensive showing of the season. Yeah, Hawaii running away from SDSU right now. Yeah, the one kind of sad thing about this, and I guess it's not really sad, is that Hawaii beating San Diego State does probably eliminate, obviously with Boise State losing, that eliminated the Mountain West in one sense. And now then Hawaii beating San Diego State, that kind of eliminates the Mountain West from any college football playoff contention, which, it is what it is. The O-line was opening up lanes tonight. Not sure if that's because it was CSU or they figured something out. Chris, it was both. Colorado State did not have a lot of fight tonight. You don't want to take this game going into a really tricky game against Utah State at Allegiant Stadium and feel overconfident. You have to understand how down bad this Colorado State program is right now. That program is broken. And so it's positive. It's a good step. Hopefully it gives the defense some confidence going into that Utah State game next week. But it's not, don't be too confident because that Utah State team can score like crazy. It would be nice to beat them next week. That would be a good win. That's going to be a tough game at Allegiant Stadium. Wow. But at the same time, UNLV needs to hope New Mexico loses somewhere down the road, and I just don't see it. Yeah, New Mexico has a favorable schedule. I guess we will see. I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments here. Couple of Master Rebel. I don't know why you always appear at the very top. Hawaii plays like Alabama at home, but terrible on the road. Yeah. UNLV's only chance to make a Mountain West championship game is with a 2-loss San Diego State team. Maybe I'll have to see. I'll have to go through it or more. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the scenarios are, but great day to be a Rebel. Yeah, good to see you, Bully. Appreciate you, man. This guy makes some of the best YouTube content. So good to see you, Bully. Everybody make sure you subscribe to him. His YouTube channel is great. They need to play their best game defensively against Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii is going to be tough. We play Hawaii at Allegiant Stadium. Hawaii has 2 conference losses at San Jose State and Fresno State at home. And so it's going to be, we can pass Hawaii because we play them. Our biggest problems are New Mexico and Boise State. They have the head-to-head against us, and we need San Diego State to lose another game because we don't play them, and we have 2 conference losses. So there are paths, but we're still a ways away from conference championship type, discussions. And we have to beat Utah State first. Maybe Boise will rack up some losses. You never know. Yeah, Boise State's without their quarterback, so you do never know. But I'm still saying it's pretty unlikely that UNLV ends up in the Mountain West Championship game. Obviously, it's not a given, but they'd have to win out, and that's going to be tough. Great effort by PSU. Yeah. So, yeah, kind of closing out my thoughts on the football game. Thrilled. It was a step forward for the defense. They're going to play a more legit team in Utah State next week at Allegiant Stadium. That's going to be really tough. They're going to have to play their best game of the year to beat that Utah State team. Another pick for Hawaii just now, man. It just goes from bad to worse for San Diego State on the islands. San Diego State definitely on fraud watch, I think, right now. So, dang, man, holy moly, especially considering the last game of the year, what you got to take in San Diego State at New Mexico. So if the Lobos beat the Aztecs, the Lobos would still have the tiebreaker over UNLV. But, New Mexico is going to play an Air Force team that's playing better than it had. And I think that game is at Air Force. And so kind of, I think we're in for a fun finish, even though the Mountain West is not nearly as good this year as it was last year, at least, and especially at the top. We're in for kind of a fun finish. New Mexico next week, just so you guys know, New Mexico, I think, plays at Air Force. Okay, New Mexico plays Colorado State next week in Albuquerque, so that's going to be a tough one. I don't think New Mexico is going to be able to pull that one out. Fresno State still has 2 losses as well, so I guess we'll see. Man. Glad to see UNLV beat Colorado State in their last year in the Mountain West, and in a complete game. Running Rebels looked a lot better this time. Yeah, let's talk about Running Rebels. I guess I'll kind of close it out by saying a great step forward. Gloria picks the 2 teams out at the end of a 10 regular season, and we have a true Mountain West championship. Yep, it's time to make the Mountain West the best that we can, and beating up on departing members of the new Pac-12 looks like a good way to do that. And so Colorado State was not playing, as they claim, power football tonight. I can say that. But to be fair, Colorado State fans are generally some of the nicest. So respect to you guys. I know you're rebuilding your program. It is what it is. I'll see you. I'm going to miss playing Colorado State. I think Colorado State's a generally pretty classy program, and there you go. So awesome game. Let's talk about the Runnin' Rebels. Let's talk about Runnin' Flippin' Rebel basketball. That was so much fun, guys. What a blast of a game. UNLV came into the night after we started out the season 110 in Ken Palm. And now Ken Palm, nicknamed after Ken Pomeroy, is kind of especially early on in the season before the NCAA releases its own rankings, it's kind of how you tell how good teams are in college basketball. UNLV coming into the season, and I guess I'll share my screen. Normally you have to pay for this, so don't tell anybody I'm sharing my screen with you guys. But what Ken Palm does is it tells you Ken Palm had us as the 110th ranked team in the season coming into the year. UNLV loses to Tennessee Martin, who I think, they played a non-ranked. Their next game isn't until tomorrow. They play a Division II school in Kentucky Christian. But what Ken Palm does is list out every team in America, worst to best. And UNLV started the season at 110. It lost to a terrible Tennessee Martin team. who was in the 300s in terms of Ken Palm ranking. But Chattanooga was a team that I was at, I believe, 110 or 115 heading into this game. This Chattanooga team that we beat tonight was actually ranked higher than UNLV. And, Ken Palm has the Rebels going 14-16 on the year. That doesn't mean anything. It's just kind of what their computer system projects the Rebels to go. We'll have to see what the Rebels actually do. But a win like this tonight over this Chattanooga team, because of its margin and because of how emphatic it was, boosted UNLV's ranking all the way up to 107, which is actually higher than it was before the Tennessee Martin game. Going into the stats specifically of this one, UNLV, something I like that Ken Palm does is, even though college basketball is being played in halves, Ken Palm splits it up into quarters. So UNLV won, and this is a really good sign, won every single quarter of the game. The first 10 minutes, UNLV won 20-16. Something that I noticed in this first, I guess I'll talk about the game in quarters because I think that's the best way to describe it. Out of the gates, UNLV was struggling in their 1-3-1 zone. Now, Josh Pastner has used a 1-3-1 in a lot of different stops in his career. A 1-3-1 can be one of the most stymieing, effective ways to play defense in all of college basketball. And what it does is it basically takes away the middle of the floor. It forces teams to beat you with kind of tough passes to corner threes that are contested. And it's very weak on the glass. You can get a lot of rebounds against a 1-3-1, but Coach Pastner clearly wants to run a 1-3-1 zone. Out of the game, Chattanooga was hitting a ton of three-pointers, and Coach Pastner recognized that and said, wait, I need to change something here, and went to a more traditional man-to-man defense. Now, this man-to-man defense that Coach Pastner switched to that really kind of flipped the game had a couple of cool little tidbits in it. UNLV was not going to allow Chattanooga to make a bunch of three-pointers after that opening stretch, that opening 10-minute, that first quarter. UNLV was contesting everything really, really, really well in terms of the three-point line. Now, what it did was it gave Chattanooga some room in the paint to score. UNLV was being very, very, very aggressive in how it was guarding the three-point line. And that opened up some layups for Chattanooga and kind of kept the Rebels from completely blowing out Chattanooga until the end of the game. Chattanooga was coming off of the Musks or whatever, was coming off of a back-to-back. So Chattanooga had played St. Mary's the night before and had been blown out by St. Mary's. UNLV very similarly blew them out. And, this UT team was really tired by the end of the game. And eventually UNLV's kind of stifling perimeter man-to-man defense and athleticism led UNLV to be in a good position to kind of open up the game and eventually blow out this team. Let's talk about individual players. Howie Fleming is a guy, he's a senior, 6'5", with Miles Che out for the season. A couple of guys are going to have to step up pretty big on this Runnin' Rebel roster, and perhaps none bigger than Howie Fleming. Fleming has played some point guard in his career, but he's not a traditional point guard. He's kind of a 2-3, kind of a hybrid 2-3. He can play the small forward, but he's mostly a shooting guard. Howie Fleming has been asked by Coach Pastner to be the point guard for the team at times, especially when Dre is struggling and can't stay on the floor because of things like foul trouble, or is just kind of, Dre is definitely kind of a slasher shooting guard type. He's not as much of a point guard type. And so this roster really right now, until Isaac Williamson, and we'll have to see how he does, can come back, there really isn't a player that plays point guard that is healthy for this team right now. And Howie Fleming as a shooting guard kind of stepped into the point guard role, and he did amazing tonight. 6 assists, 1 turnover. He did have 6 defensive rebounds. He was 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 from 2, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. That is just an unbelievably efficient game for Howie Fleming. I'll get to some other guys, and obviously, Nas Cunningham is going to be kind of the it's going to kind of be the MVP talk of the night, but the most important Runnin' Rebel tonight was Howie Fleming. Howie Fleming was the glue that held the team together. He's been dealing with a little bit of a leg issue And it was just so nice to see him be healthy tonight. And I could not be happier with how he played. Al Green had an okay game, 2 of 5 from three, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Did have that 4-point play, 7 points. He did get an offensive rebound, 2 defensive rebounds, 4 assists, no turnover. That's a very efficient game from Al Green, and he's a guy that's going to have to step up, especially in the absence of Miles Che. He did have a steal as well. So thrilled with Al Green, happy with him. We'll talk about Kamani in just a second. Dre had an interesting game, only 22 minutes. Again, foul trouble. Foul trouble is going to be an issue for Dre all season, unless he can kind of right the ship a little bit. Not a great game. Did finish with 13 points, 3 of 4 from the field. Did hit a 3 as well. 4 of 4 from the free throw line, pretty solid there. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers. Dre's too important for this team to be stuck in foul trouble. He's too athletic. He's really the best ball handler. And hopefully Dre can kind of stay on the floor a little bit. Laji Dembele, he's a kind of a wily veteran. Really like him as a player. He looked a lot better tonight than he looked in the opening night game. Finishes with 7 points, 3 of 3 from the field. Did miss 3 3-pointers, but I'm glad he's taking them. He did have a turnover, but a couple of rebounds, couple of offensive rebounds, couple of assists. Laji was awesome tonight. Jacob Benarbi deserves to get more minutes. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he only had, how many minutes did Jacob Benarbi finish with? He only finished with 18 minutes, and Benarbi I thought was just awesome tonight. To go 5 of 5 from the field, but to have the lowest offensive rating on the team is wild to me. I don't understand how KenPom can have Benarbi as the lowest offensive rated Rebel tonight. That's just insane. 5 of 5 from the field. He did miss both of his free throws, but he had 4 rebounds, a couple of assists, no turnovers. He had 4 turnovers. That's probably why his offensive rating was so low. But he did have a couple of steals as well. Really, really, really proud of Benarbi. He's excelling as a player right now, and hopefully he can keep this momentum going. The only running Rebel I would say that didn't play well was Tyron Jones. He finishes with 5 points, 2 of 4 from the field. Did miss one of 2 from the free throw line. Didn't have a turnover, but did have a couple assists. Tyron Jones just looked a little lost out there. You could tell the coaching staff was frustrated a little bit with him. He's learning. I mean, he's still young. He's got all the talent in the world, and this team needs him. But hopefully we can get a little bit better play from Tyron coming down our next game against Montana. Walter Brown got in for a few minutes, and then Jalen Cunningham, the walk-on, did get in as well. So those were the stats of the game. I can tell you the shooting percentages for the team and stuff as well. UNLV finishes shooting 73% from the free throw line, 36% from 3, 67% from 2. That's outstanding. Finishes with 1.49 points per possession, which is an outstanding number. UNLV's offense was humming tonight. Out rebounds this Chattanooga team by a lot. And pretty good turnover percentage. Just an awesome night that led to one of the happier nights that we've had in the one of the happiest nights that we've had as a Run and Rebel fan. And the Thomas and Mack was awesome. Couldn't be happy. And, look, it wasn't like a huge crowd there tonight, but the people that were there were very happy. And so I was just thrilled. Yes, all UNLV teams to beat those teams leaving. Yeah, the offense looked creative. The defense looked fast and active. The alley-oops were high flying. It was super fun to watch. Something that I talked about after the opening night loss to UT Martin was I noticed it felt like Josh, with all this time that he had off coaching, had so much energy and had so many things that he wanted to accomplish. He wanted to do this. He wanted to run the coolest offense. He wanted to run the craziest defense. He wanted to use all of his knowledge and all of his passion. And I think it overwhelmed the team a little bit. He was asking them to run the offense that the Golden State Warriors run. And that's a really difficult offense to run. It's a very complicated. There's a lot of moving parts. And if players aren't on the same page, there's going to be a lot of turnovers. Tonight, Josh Pastner simplified the offense. He said, hey, we're more talented than these UT Chattanooga guys. We were more talented than the UT Martin guys, but we're more talented than these guys. We have better players. We're going to let our better players be basketball players and go dominate. And that's exactly what they did. A couple of the sets that I really loved, they were running down screens. They would have Kamani come off of They would set Kamani a down screen, basically have him come off of a curl and go to the rim. That was awesome. On baseline out of bounds plays, I loved this play that Pastner and the team came up with. Essentially, the team kind of runs an off ball screen, and all four players besides Kamani sprint to the baseline, basically to pull their defenders away from the middle of the paint and away from the top of the key. And Kamani flashes out to the free throw line and basically gets a one-on-one from the free throw line to attack the rim. It has to be fast, but this is an awesome, awesome play design. And it's one that I'm sure opposing teams are going to see because essentially it just creates Kamani space in the middle of the floor for him to attack the rim. And some of the things that Kamani was doing athletically were just unbelievable. He looked like he was a kid who was playing 2K and who was just trying to see the cool things that he could accomplish. And it was really fun to watch Kamani just as an athlete, just kind of dominate. He did look like he got a little banged up. Hopefully he's okay for the Montana game. At the end of the first half, a guy kind of rolled up on him. So hopefully he's good. But I wanted to save the best for last. Naz Cunningham. 25 points, 3 of 7 from 3, 57% from the field, 8 of 14 from the field overall. Ends up going 6 of 10 from the free throw line. Not great there. But Naz Cunningham, he is a one-man wrecking crew on the offensive side. And when he gets the ball's going up. He's taking the shot, Naz Cunningham. He is so athletic, so talented. He can throw down two-handed dunks. He can windmill from the free throw line. He can shoot over anybody. He has so much raw talent. It is insane. And if this coaching staff can get Naz Cunningham, who is going to play against way better teams than this Chattanooga team, to be a key part of the offense all year, the sky is the limit for this Runnin' Rebel team. And you have to sit and think, man, what could this team have been like with Miles Che? But Miles Che's absence will open up playing time for people like Naz Cunningham, as players kind of have to shift around the rotation. Naz was awesome. He has so much confidence. This guy, when he got the ball, it's going up. He's going to shoot it. And it's going to be at least a decently efficient shot. He can go to the rim. He can pull up. He can do everything. He's amazing. Can he control it? Can he use his talent like he did tonight throughout the course of this regular season? That is going to tell you just how good this Runnin' Rebel team can be. If Naz Cunningham, because we know how good Kamani is. We know how good Dre is. Can Naz Cunningham be a star? As a freshman, he's not a true freshman because he did a red shirt last year. But as a freshman, can he be that kind of player? And tonight, he showed that he can. It's just going to be a thing about consistency for him because in the opening night game, Naz didn't have a good game. But with a more simplified offense and with Coach Pastner saying, go ahead, dude, shoot it. You clearly can make it. That's pretty scary for all the teams in the Mountain West and all the teams that UNLV basketball will play this year. So I loved this game. I thought Coach Pastner had an awesome game, an awesome lineup. I thought his in-game decision-making was good. And just, I can't be any prouder of where this team is. Perry says, Runnin' Rebels came out 100% different and played with almost the same effort and style as a Tark team. Yeah, it was just night and day. All I know is bigger lineups with Howie at the 1 and JB playing with the offense flows really well. Totally agree. I think Jacob Benarbi deserves more playing time, especially if Emmanuel Steffens is going to be out. And I cannot wait to see this team play when Emmanuel Steffens returns next month. Please come to the game on Tuesday. Let's support our boys. Yes, I'll be there, Tavon. You better believe it. First game, I guess you throw it away. This game is really something to build on. Yeah, I mean, listen, it happened. You flush it down the toilet. It's going to sting the Rebels all season. But, our chances of being an at-large team are pretty low anyway. So ultimately, the thing that's most important for this Runnin' Rebel basketball team is, are they playing well? And tonight they played well. And Tuesday, they're going to get another chance to play well. I was so worried early in the game. It felt like Chattanooga hit every three. Yeah, it's because Coach Pastner had them in a zone, and then Coach Pastner made an adjustment and started taking away the three ball. It was good coaching. Scarlett Sanders says Fleming played point guard in high school. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Perry says, Jason, you do a great job on these shows. Thank you for the time and effort. Thank you, Perry. I appreciate you. Shout out to Kamani for playing without fouling. Yeah, Kamani Hamilton only played 14 minutes in that opening game, and in this game he played a ton and didn't foul, and he actually could have played more. I feel like the coaches were being a little hesitant with him because that he was dealing with a little bit of a nagging injury. Uh, yeah, Bernardi not playing under Kruger with all those injuries is wild. Yeah, Bernardi was really rough last year. I thought he was kind of bad. But he definitely has the talent, and I like him as a player, and I like him as a person. I've said hi to him a couple times. I mean, I've never talked to him really, but he seems like a good dude, so I appreciate him. Perry says, "Attention, ULV fans! The team needs your support. We need fans in the seats. It's time to usher in a new and exciting era of winning. Be a part of the beginning of UNLV's rise to being a national power." That's the way. That's what I like to hear, Perry. There we go. 23 assists on 33 made field goals. That's a great stat. It shows that they're moving the ball well. And I'm sure that the 10 field goals they made without assists were all Nas Cunningham. I picked Nas to win freshman of the year, and that's aging like fine wine. Sure. Michael, I think Che is going to redshirt, but you never know. Attendance was 4,600 tonight. Not great, but I mean, we'll see. Oregon State just lost to Sam Houston. Did that go final? That's great. I can't say enough. UNLV football played so well. Def, outstanding effort. Great game to build on. I totally agree. Coach Pastner, class act, apologizes to fans during post game, first interview loss, and then definitely got the players ready to play tonight. Yep. His guys, it was night and day, and if you're going to apologize to fans, you can only really do that once. You better start getting your guys to play after that. And tonight they did. And Tuesday they will have another chance to do so. And hopefully the city can come out and support them. LMAO doing winless things. Yeah. We do not know if Miles is redshirting. That's kind of up to him. There's a chance that he could because it's a pretty long injury, but not as of right now. Yeah, like Scarlett Sanders says, not as of now. I don't know that he's redshirting now, but I guess we'll see. Make sure I'm getting all your guys' comments. It just feels like a coach that can adjust. Yeah, it's crazy that Kevin could not get anything out of Jacob with all the injuries last season. I totally agree, Bill. Sedan is very successful at LSU. Thoughts? I don't know who you're referring to there. Oh, are you talking about Didon? Oh, you're talking about Sedan. DJ is a great player. He took too much of the payroll up. All respect to DJ. Hope I wish him the best at LSU. But I was ready to move on. He was ready to move on, and I appreciate DJ for his time as a running rebel. What's up with Jet? We do not know what Jet's injury is right now. We do not know how serious it is. Hopefully, it is not too bad. So let me go up to the top. Make sure I'm not missing any comments. Make sure I got everything. Anything from you, Master Rebel? Because you're always here at the top, and I always miss everything. Never mind. Sam Houston throwing third down with 1 minute left. I don't know if that already happened. Sam Houston's going to win. Okay. Well, guys, this is an awesome night. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I feel like I'm kind of living in heaven right now, as I just finished up the first week of my daughter was born a week ago, my first child. And walking around the Thomas and Mack tonight, I got congratulated by a bunch of people for bringing the dog, having my daughter, bringing her into the world. Sam Houston did beat Oregon State. That's amazing. In Research Stadium. Sorry. That Sam Houston team was winless. The one team they beat is Oregon State. Sorry. Guys, I'm trying to get all melodramatic about my daughter and about my family and about how grateful I am for all of you, and I just had to laugh at Oregon State for a second. That sucks, man. Those Beaver fans are going through it, man. Meanwhile, San Diego State getting shellacked by Hawaii. That's also kind of funny. Good stuff. Future Mountain West. Good day for the future Mountain West. But Sam Houston wins finals. The Lady Rebels are getting more attention. Yeah. Jason, why doesn't the Lady Rebels get the press the men's team does? All they do is win. Yeah, Lindy's incredible. I love Lindy. As long as UNLV keeps playing good, you will keep getting more traction with this. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with my show. Happy to be talking about it. I hope so. UNLV football doing well has definitely led to this show getting bigger. But to be honest, I just do this out of love, and I'm not expecting to ever make any money for this. I kind of want you guys to have a place you can talk to after post game shows. And UNLV could be a winless team, and I'd be going live after every single one of these games. So I didn't go live after Tuesday because that was the night my daughter we brought her home, and so it was pretty tough. But guys, thank you. Thank you so much. Grateful and honored to be the host of Let's Run podcast. Grateful to be talking UNLV with you guys. I obviously talk about things that are not UNLV related on my show all the time, but um, but UNLV has my heart, and I am a proud graduate of UNLV, and I love it. And I'll go over some final questions here. Chris R. Vega says, Jay, any recent updates on the lawsuit since your recent explanations? No, we are waiting. UNLV filed its answer with its counterclaims to the Pac-12. And now the Pac-12, I believe, has 21 days to file a response to what the Mountain West filed. So unless the parties come together and settle, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon, there's no new updates as of right now. And it'll happen. I mean, I expect mid-December, late or later this month, we'll have another update. But yeah, nothing new as of right now. Okay, let me make sure I'm missing I just hate it because it doesn't put all the chats in order, so I have to scroll up and make sure that I'm hosting a burner space soon. Maybe we could do a burner space tomorrow if you guys want to. I'd love to hear your guys' voices, talk to you guys. But I'm going to end the show tonight there. I want to thank you all for coming on. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And just what a great night to be a UNLV fan. Good job, Coach Passner. Good job, Coach Mullen. And I will even say, and then I'm going to get off as fast as I can because it makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. Good job, Paul Gunther. Okay, everybody, good night. Have a great time, and let's run. Woo!